Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Daemon Prince Powie, and we've got an interesting video for you guys today. So today's video is a 2000 point Khorne Daemons list, so let's take a look at the list. So the first unit in the list is Rendmaster on the Blood Throne. So let's take a look at this guy's ability. It's called Blood Throne. At the start of the fight phase, select one enemy unit within 18 inches and visible to this model, and each time a friendly Khorne Demon unit targets an attack that targets that unit, improve the strength, AP, and damage characteristics of that attack by 1. It's a lovely little ability. It's going to tie in with other units we have in this list. I really like that. He's also quite tough as well. Toughness 9, 9 wounds. His attacks are quite good, so he could buff himself as well. So he's got like the standard 5 attacks, hitting on 2, strength 6, minus 2 AP, 3 damage. That could obviously go up to minus 3 AP, 4 damage, which is kind of tasty. And then he has the extra attacks as well on top of that. Then his other ability, Champion Slayer. So each time this model makes a melee attack that targets a character or monster unit, you can re-roll the wound roll. And each time this model destroys an enemy character or monster unit, that model regains up to D6 lost wounds. Again, very, very nice. So this guy is obviously going to be the centerpiece of the list, in a sense. I say centerpiece in a sense. The buffs all work around him because he can buff everybody else in the list to get better AP, better strength, and better damage output. We've already got heavy swingers, which we'll talk about a bit further on in the video, but that's going to be his job. His job is going to be trying to keep him high hidden with line of sight blocking, targeting those key units with the Blood Throne ability, so your other units can go in, smash, and do what they need to do and move around the board. We also might need to use him for secondaries to help get us VP throughout the battle, but we'll talk more about secondaries later on in the video. The second unit in this list is Skarbrand. I love Skarbrand. He's a really cool looking model. Is he here today? No, he's not here today, but we do have the lovely Be'lakor with me. Daddy Be'lakor there. I don't know where Skarbrand is. He's about somewhere. He's sleeping probably. So yeah, I love the model. Absolutely love the model. He's also a beast. He's just slow. His only gripe with me is he's slow. I wish he was a bit quicker, but it is what it is. So his Rage Embodied Aura, one of his abilities, while a friendly Khorne Daemonic unit, excluding monster and vehicles, is within 6 inches of the model, add 1 to the attack characteristics of melee weapons equipped by that models. So that ties in with the Rendmaster. The Rendmaster gets that buff. The Rendmaster also buffs Skarbrand. We all know Skarbrand has flat 6 damage, while with the Rendmaster it goes to flat 7, which is mental. I love that. I love flat 7 damage. Like, it's the OP, and it's just great. The Rage Embodied Aura will also buff other little units in the list. The next guy we're going to talk about will buff him. Don't think it's buffing anybody else, really. Just the Rendmaster. And then his other ability we'll talk about, Murderlust, which is also an aura. While a unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time that unit is selected to fall back, it must take a leadership test. If that test is failed, it must remain stationary this phase. Yeah, okay, cool. It's okay. It's just a nice little thing. I prefer the Bloodthirster's abilities over Skarbrand's. It is what it is, but he hits like a truck. So Skarbrand's job, I would personally have him in Deep Strike to begin with, and then get him on the board, high up at the board, and targeting those tanks, transports, key character units. Like you could go after a Doomsday Arc, a Ghost Arc. I know I'm using Necrons here. You could go after big monoliths if you need things like that. Chaos Knights as well, big knights. Get him in against the big knights, because the big knights ain't surviving that. They ain't getting him. They don't get a save. They don't get an invent save. Flat 7 damage. And he needs 4/4 to go through out the 8 to wound. Done. He's done. They're done, sorry. Yeah, he's a beast. So that's what you're going to need him to do. You need him to target them key units and be a presence and bully things off objectives as well. So that is Skarbrand. So unit number 3 is the Daemon Prince of Chaos with wings. Why am I doing this? So I can just put an animation or something. I don't know why I'm doing this. So Khorne Daemon Prince with wings. I don't have the model, so I've not played with this guy, but I do like the look of his data card, should I say. I think he can do work, you know. So he's the Warlord, and not that Warlords matter in this edition at the moment. But he's also got the enhancement Agrav King of Blades. You all know where I'm kind of going with this, I believe. So let's talk about his abilities quickly. Malefic Destruction. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, until the end of the phase, add 3 to the attacks characteristics of this model's Hellforged weapons. So let's have a look at the strike ability. So because he's Khorne, it's 6 attacks, hitting on 2, strength 10, minus 2 AP, 3 damage. And obviously with Malefic Destruction, it goes up to 9 attacks. But then he's got the enhancement. So he could have 10 to 11 attacks if you use that ability. I'm going to sneeze again. No, I'm good. He's going to put out a lot of attacks and a fair bit of damage. I kind of like it. And his sweep's nothing to sniff at either. You can get rid of some low 1 wound models, like Termagants, Hormagaunts, little cruddy things like that, Bloodletters, for example. Get rid of them, get them gone. But then his other ability is going to coincide with these massive amount of attacks. So he's got the Harbinger of Death. Each time this model is selected to fight, select one of the following abilities until the end of the phase. This model's Hellforged weapons have that ability. Lethal, precision, sustained hits. I'd normally take lethal over sustained, but you want to auto wound to be easier, isn't it? And then he can also kill a leader. We have Skulltaker for that, but he can do it as well. The Daemon Prince is the jack of all trades. He's going to get buffed by the Rendmaster, which now you're looking at that strike ability. It's now going up to flat 4 damage, minus 3 AP. His sweep is now going up to 2 damage, minus 1 AP. And of course we have the stratagem to make it to minus 2 AP, minus 4 AP. Just nuts. This guy's going to be nuts. He also has a shooting attack, which is a nice little added boon. Jack of all trades, master of none. He's going to be so versatile, doing all kinds of things, helping everybody out. Yeah, I kind of like him, and he's kind of cheap for what he's doing, for the damage output he's doing as well. 195 points, but then I put the enhancement on him, so he's 215 points. It's not bad, really, for your return. Got to use that line of sight to keep him safe, get him in, deep strike him, pull him off, bring him back on with Realms of Chaos, things like that. Lovely little unit. The next units in the list is not 1, not 2, but 3 big boy Bloodthirsters. Now, I love these guys. They hit like an absolute freight train. Makes me feel all corny, you know what I mean? It's just great. I love them. I think they're great. They do get shot off the board eventually, but I do like them. So let's take a look at their abilities. Demon Lord of Khorne is their aura. While a friendly Khorne demonic unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, add 1 to the hit roll. It's nice. They all have it inbuilt themselves, so when they get damaged, they will get +1 to hit, so they're always going to be hitting on 2s. It could aid things like Skarbrand and other things where you go into a unit and it's like, -1 to hit. Well, I'm within 6 inches of a Bloodthirster, so no, I'm not. I'm back to normal. I'm hitting on 2s. Helps get them hits through, and helps get these big boy damages in, just to clear stuff off the board. And then second ability, which I love, one of my favourite abilities in the game for demons, Relentless Carnage. At the end of the fight phase, you can select one enemy unit of engagement range of this model, roll 8d6, and on a 4-up, the enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Now you're averaging between the 12 mortal wounds a turn, which is kind of nice in a sense if you're going off the averages and all 3 of them get in and do what they need to do. It's 12 mortal wounds, which is nice. It's just going to clear a few little models here and there. It could swing OC in your favour, for example. Things like this. Very, very good. Now, these guys, everything's important, right, in the list. Everything's important. As you're now aware, I've spent a lot of points already. So I'd keep 1 Bloodthirster off the board, and the other 2 will remain on the board, and then they'll go up the left flank to push round to an objective. It's in a sense to force your opponent to go to your right hand side. They look to dominate, and then you got to think of it as like a baseball diamond, bases. Yeah, forget the middle objective. Think of it as home, first, second, third. Yeah, that's how you got to think of these things, and you're gonna just get a home run. You're gonna keep going round and round and round. That's what you need to do to score, and I'll iterate on that a bit more as we go on when we talk about secondaries in the video. But that's the Bloodthirster. Obviously, that +1 to hit roll is gonna maybe help things out, but it's more the Relentless Carnage I think will be more beneficial. So that is the Bloodthirster. Unit number 7 is Skulltaker. I love this dude. He is a lovely little dude. For 95 points, he sure does a lot of work. Well, for me anyway. I'm not sure about you guys at home. So let's take a look. We're only going to look at one of his abilities because he's not actually leading a unit in this list. So he's just on his own. He's on his little lonesome. So it's Skulls for Khorne. Each time this model makes an attack, that targets a character unit, you can re-roll the hit roll and you can re-roll the wound roll. Each time this model destroys an enemy character, you gain 1 CP, which is nice. It's a nice little bonus. So what do you think his job is? His job is to kill the leaders, get in, bang, smash the leaders up, do what he needs to do. He can even go against other bigger characters because I think he has enough sway in him because he has dev wounds on the Slayer sword. So he's got 6 attacks, hitting on 2, strength 6, but he's re-rolling everything. Minus 2 AP, flat 3 damage, it's nice. But if he gets buffed by the Rendmaster, now it's strength 7, minus 3 AP, 4 damage. Now you're looking a bit tasty and you're re-rolling everything. So he's nice. He's going to do a little bit of work. I think we're not just going to use him for that though. We need to prioritise him mainly for scoring secondaries in a sense. We'll talk about secondaries. Again, I'm repeating myself a little bit, but later on in the video we'll talk about secondaries. He's going to have to do a bit of everything. But if leaders are on the board, bang, kill the leaders, or low-level characters. I say low-level. Low-wound characters, get them in, get them gone. He'll do the job, right? He's probably, I would say, without the stratagem for Epic Challenge, he's probably our best character killer, bar Shalaxi, right? But Shalaxi's not in this list. This is a mono Khorne list. He's one of the best character killers. He's amazing. I think he's amazing. I think he could do jobs. Obviously not against big boys like the Silent King, right? That's what you got Skarbrand and the Bloodthirster to try and do. But he does a job. And for 95 points, I don't think he can moan. Really? I think he does a great job for 95 points. So that's Skulltaker. And finally, units 8 and 9, because that is it. 9 units in this list. The last 2 units are going to be Skull Cannons. I'm not going to go over their weapons. I'm just going to talk about their ability quickly. Skulls of the Fallen. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, select one enemy unit that was hit by one or more of those attacks. That unit must take a battle shot test. Nice. I kind of like that. I like that ability. I know the opponents I normally play go, well, I'm battle shocked. It's fine. I'm going to get OC back. For me, it's not about that. It isn't about that in a sense. It's more about that you're not using stratagems on that unit if I want to charge. It's if you're in my Shadow Chaos and you fail that battle shock test, well now it's D3 mortal wounds on you, so you could be losing models, or I'm chipping away single models with higher wounds, right? I don't get that's what it is for me, to just chip you away to allow my unit to come in and just finish you off. Done. Right, next. But with the OC thing, it's going to tie in with the secondaries we've got, because if the battle shocked, you lose AC, you can now gain OC, which could help you with secondaries. Yeah, it's just an added boon for a unit like this. And with these, I'd probably sit them back to begin with, but depending on the secondaries that you're going to pick or I'm going to pick, it will change the whole dynamic of the game plan. But that's why I've taken the Skull Cannons. I think they're quite resilient at 9 wounds, and their toughness 9 as well. They're being in the back quarters, I'd say, maybe on the home objective, firing at a few things, helping out where they can. So that's the Skull Cannons. And now we're going to talk about secondaries. Okay, for me with this list, because it's a very unique list, only 9 units, it's just nuts to me. We're gonna talk about fixed secondaries. Okay, so we have, I'm not going to go through all of them. I mean, you can do if you want to, but I'm not going to go through all of them because some of them are just a big nope. You know what, we'll just run through them all. I'll tell you what, we'll run through them all. So obviously the first one is behind enemy lines. With 9 units, to get 2 of them behind is going to be difficult. I mean, it's plausible. You've got Skulltaker that has a small base that can get in. Then you've got a Skull Cannon you could drop in. And you'd probably have to use, because his base is big, you probably have to use the strat to drop him within 3. Don't put him near, put him as far away as you can, and drop him in. And then, yeah, you got behind enemy lines. And then I suppose a turn later you could bring the next Skull Cannon up, maybe. So you just swap in deployment zones effectively. You're moving from your home to there. Remember the base pyramid? You're moving from your home to base 2. Okay? So it could work, but I think at 2,000 points, your opponent's probably going to screen off enough to make it difficult for you, especially if they've seen you're taking behind enemy lines, which they're going to. They're going to know you're taking behind enemy lines, so they'll plan for it. So I think it would be quite difficult to pull off, but not a no. It's not a no, because it all depends on what your opponent has, right? It all depends on their list. The second one is Assassination. I think that is a gimme with this list, as long as they have 4 or more characters. If they have 3 or less, I won't bother. Well, maybe at a push, I suppose. Maybe at a push, because it's 15 VP, but you've got to make sure you kill them characters. You've got to go character hunting. But if they've got 4 or more, yeah, definitely take Assassination. Bring it down. That is also dependent on your opponent's list. That's what I've got to say about that. Yeah, Skarbrand and the Bloodthirsters could do stuff there. Even the Daemon Prince could help out with that. Not easy, but plausible and doable. The next one is Engage on all fronts. Me personally, I think this is one I definitely sort of look at to take. Again, it's going to be difficult. Again, everything's going to be difficult. But you just got to have the table quarters. You could sit in the middle, 3 inches away from each table quarter, hold the middle objective, have someone on the flank, and then you take your primaries and stuff. So it can work. You've got to make the most out of the units within this list. You've got to be careful what you charge into. You've got to be careful of your opponent's traps that they're going to set for you. So you've got to be wary and think about what you're doing and your game plan. Sometimes they adjust for when your opponent does something. I was a guilty party of that. I'd have a game plan, go in, see that they've done this and gone and panicked, and then change what I did, and it loses me the game. No, you've got to go in with your own game plan. Next up is Storm Hostile Objective, which is, for me with this list, I'm taking it. This is one I'm definitely taking. So just to explain what that is, at the end of the turn, if either of the below conditions are satisfied, this secondary mission is achieved and you score 4 victory points. So the first point, you control 1 or more objective markers that were controlled by your opponent at the start of the turn, or your opponent did not control any objective markers at the start of your turn, and now you control 1 or more objective markers that you did not control at the start of your turn. So this is where I say use the pyramid, the baseball style, yeah? You want to go round in a circle, chasing your opponent. Leave him objectives for him to sit on, because he's going to want to score primaries. So you just leave them, bait him in. You want to leave him on those primaries, and you get in next turn. So this is where I'd say Skull Cannons at the back, deploying in your deployment zone. Maybe Skulltaker there as well. Skarbrand and a Bloodthirster in reserve. Maybe Skulltaker in reserve, or the Rendmaster in reserve. Whatever you want to decide, right? The 2 Bloodthirsters and the Daemon Prince, they go left. They go to base 1. Okay? They go there. Boop. They're going to go to base 1. That's going to make your opponent go, ooh, I don't really want to deal with that. Because they're going to be scared. They're going to look at your list and go, 3 Bloodthirsters and Scarbrand. That's fucking mental. Excuse my French. It's going to be intimidating, but they're going to try and deal with it and shoot it. They're not going to want to charge them, which is good for you in a sense. So you go there. Then next turn, you go up. You go up to base 2 in their home objective. You go there, right? That's what you do. And then you're just going to follow around. And you end up leaving your home objective for them to deep strike in. Well, then you can deep strike in. It's your Shadow of Chaos. No problem. It's not only our killing stuff. I'm constantly chasing you to score Storm Hostile Objective. I know it's only 16 BP, but I think it's easy to score. And it also means you're going to be scoring your primaries as well. I think with this, you'd definitely get 40 plus points easy. I think you'd probably max it, because at some point you'll get 15. Because you can use the stratagem to hold one in the command phase and then move, pull them off, whatever you need to do. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a cat and mouse game with this list, because you've also got to do your hunting as well. So you go claim the objective, hunt, get someone at the top. That's why I would pick Storm Hostile Objective. Next one is Cleanse. Stay away from it. We can't be doing actions with this list. Really can't. You can't afford to. We need them moving and doing things. I just don't see how it can work. It's just, and it's on objective, so you inviting trouble. Because you're not going to have Bloodthirster stand on objectives and go, yeah, I'm just going to stand here and do cleanse. Going to do cleanse. No, you need them in fighting, right? It's just a waste of models. Ain't got the units to do that kind of stuff. The Skulltaker, the Skull Cannons, maybe, but you want them doing their thing, right? This leads me on to deploy teleport homers, where now I'm kind of going to flip it just a touch, because that's a bit easier to do, because you can just deep strike within 3, do deploy teleport homer, their job's done, and it's done. Scored your 4 VP, on to the next turn, here we go. do it again, do it again, do it again. Bring the skull cannon in, box, because you can always pull them back out, can't you? It's not a problem. So I think that's a maybe for me. It's plausible, right? It's plausible. So out of all of the secondaries, the only ones I would recommend: behind enemy lines, assassination, engage on all fronts, storm is a gimme, and deploy teleport homers. Those are the 5 I think you should definitely consider when taking this list. And that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it. That's all I can really explain with the list. For me, the list looks hella fun to play. I can't wait to put this on the table and give it a go. I am 2 models short. I need a Bloodthirster and the Daemon Prince model to do this list. But it looks really, really fun for me to play. I can't wait to try this out. Are you guys going to try it out? If you try it out, please let me know how you get on with it. Did you do fixed or did you go tactical in the end? How did you work the secondaries? What was your game plan? Did you follow my advice and do the baseball? That's the best way the best analogy I can use to describe how I would do the game plan. It's a bit of cat and mouse chasing while hunting at the same time. It's like ward them off. So just to reiterate on that, I'm not just going on the flank. Skarbrand and the other Thirster could come in at the top or down the side to counteract and pincer. There's ways and a means, right? There's ways and a means. But yeah, I can't wait to try this. It's fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please give me a like and a subscribe. It can help boost the channel and I can get more content for you guys. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.